Hi everyone, I am here today on the beautiful island of Ikaria, and I am with Robyn Whatley-Kahn, who I had the pleasure of meeting yesterday and having a beautiful body talk session and massage, which left me sleeping better, feeling brighter, feeling more at ease, and being able to make my decisions a lot more easeful and just naturally. And so I wanted to sit down with her today and really share a little bit of her story and share what Body Talk is with you. So, Robyn, hello. If you can, what you have so much experience, a wealth of knowledge. She has 40 years of experience in Reiki. What is your background, and how did you get into this world of wellness?
World of Wellness, that's
Yeah.
good. First, thank you very much for having me, and welcome to Ikaria, the island of healing. It was called the island of longevity and healing in ancient days, so you've come to the right place.
Wow. Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah. My mother was a nurse, my father was a musician, so I inherited both those professions because I have one career, one lifetime as a singer, and then for the last 30, 40 years, it's been 40 now, don't want to give my age away, but I've been doing massage, and then massage leads into other things, so I became a Reiki master when I was living in Kauai, the Hawaiian Islands. And then I found Body Talk, the Body Talk system, after a hurricane when we were living in the Caribbean. See, I told you I have some stories because I'm older now.
I can sit here for hours. I can contest to that because I can sit here for hours and listen to Robyn. She has so many stories and just a wealth of knowledge.
Well, thank you. That comes when you get to be 75, you know. So when I had the Body Talk experience, I had met a beautiful German doctor. She was an acupuncturist, and she was world renowned at the time. And she had donated all of her needles and changed her whole career to do nothing but Body Talk after she had experience using the Body Talk system with her clients. So instead of 4 and 5 and 6 and 2 months waiting time while she was healing her people, it now only took 2 Body Talk sessions, maybe 3 Body Talk sessions. Because with Body Talk, what we do is that we work with the inner wisdom. It's called the innate wisdom. And you know it. You've seen it happen on your own bodies. You know, when you get a cut, you get a scab, right? You didn't have anything to do with making that scab. What did? That inner wisdom that is so brilliant. We all are so brilliant. And so she decided to teach, and I was fortunate enough to have one of her first classes, to be in one of her classes. And for the last 20 years, I've specialized in Body Talk. And what we do is we have a yes or no system, a technique where we can ask all kinds of questions of the body to find out what's priority, not what the problem is. Because if I say, okay, what's the problem, your body would say, oh, I have so many. Can we talk? So what we ask is the priority. First, we ask permissions, which is very polite, right? And also we have other modalities that we can ask. So the Body Talk system can be used by anyone that's in the health business. It's not in competition. It works together with all the other systems. We have a lot of acupuncturists, but we have a lot of chiropractors, naturopaths that use the Body Talk system.
Maybe yoga teachers too. It's yes. It's so I had my first session yesterday with Robyn, and it was so interesting to see how my body even reacted and what memories and things just came back. How when you speak about innate wisdom of our body, how does the body, because I know many times we use like talk therapy and these kind of therapies, but I've seen that actually more healing can happen through when we actually work with the body almost somatically. How does the body talk system work in terms of helping people to heal?
Well, like I said, we find what's priority. So on this menu that we're offering to the innate wisdom, um, there's everything on the menu. Let's call it a menu. It's a protocol chart. And there's everything from body chemistry, which means we can find out if there's bacteria or viruses or parasites someplace. There's these things called active memories that you've just mentioned, which is a memory that happened to someone. Maybe something dramatic happened when they were 3. Maybe it's a loss in the family. Maybe it's a breakup. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's a death of an animal. It could be anything, something traumatic. And the subconscious still knows about that. Our cells are so brilliant. They keep the memory. Consciously, we're really dumb. We know about this much of what is going on in our bodies.
We think we know, but...
Yeah, right. We should all be like Socrates. Socrates, the philosopher from Greece, I only know that I know nothing. And that's from one of the wisest men that ever lived. So with the body talk system, we find out what's priority because it's all about the miscommunication in the body. The body does trillions of things every single second, and it does really great, but it can't do everything at once. So what we use is a tapping. We tap the head very lightly, like I'm tapping a baby, so I'm not pounding on your head to make it work better. Just a light tapping on both hemispheres of the brain. We tap on the heart to register save. It's like a save button, and also on the tummy. And so we're having the brain focus on exactly what we're showing and what we've found to be priority. And in doing that, people are having really profound changes. I mean, if you look on my bio on the bodytalksystem.com, and then you look at my reviews, it's everything from panic attacks to sexual assault to allergies of 17 different things, and after one session the girl could eat all 17 of those things. It's pretty remarkable when you let the body, the brilliant innate wisdom, get focused on something that it's not particularly looking at right at that moment because it's doing a trillion other things.
It is very profound. I've experienced it just from that one session. Is it that the trauma or the active memory, is it that when it's brought up and when it's just felt then through the body talk system, that's when it releases and heals? Or is it through the tapping that kind of shifts it, I guess?
Well, it might, we're talking a lot about active memory.
Right.
On that menu is everything else. There's all the bones, all of the blood systems, all the systems, the digestive system, everything. There can be just immense things, physiology. It can be psychology, emotional things. It can be everything. So to answer the active memory, if that does come up, what it does is that it releases the charge, because that subconscious still has that charge on whatever that memory was. Maybe consciously we think, oh, well, I've been through psychoanalysis for 10 years, and I'm an adult, I'm 45 now, and that was a long time ago, and we rationalize all these things that we're big adults and we've handled it, right?
Right.
Well, in some cases, most cases, an active memory, it is something that the subconscious still is very conscious of. It might cause a frozen shoulder. If someone's watching a TV channel or sees something in life happen that has the exact same ramifications as what happened to them in the past, that they think they've forgotten, the subconscious goes, oh, and it's alerted, and you get maybe a frozen shoulder. You get maybe a migraine headache turns on, an ache in the knee, and you suddenly start limping, a backache. Lots of people get the low backaches. So what we do is that we have the brain. We use a lot with the brain. We focus the brain. We have a technique that we start every session with that focuses the brain to be looking at all of these things that we're going to have come up as priority. And it's not me making something come up. That's the beautiful part about body talk. It's only what the innate is ready to let go of.
Wow. It's very empowering in a way, because it takes the power back that we can heal our bodies, by using our own wisdom in a sense, which is so interesting.
Isn't that great?
Right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it's a way to do things a little bit differently than in a lot of the Western world that they're taught, which is like the quick fixes and just covering it up, or talk therapy even. We can talk so much about something, but the body maybe knows other things.
The, your innate wisdom is the only thing that knows anything about you. Your mother doesn't know what's going on in you. I don't know what's going on in you. Your doctor, your father, your mother, your, best friend. Nobody but you personally. So yes, what you just said, it's a natural way of healing. And that's why it's spreading so nice and quickly around the world. Because we're in, I think it's 46 countries now.
Wow.
People are using this. From Brazil to Japan, just everywhere they're using this.
Wow. Yes, I'm surprised that I've just discovered, because I love everything in wellness. And when I find something, I'm like, wow. And, in your like extensive many years of knowledge and all the experience that you have, what is, one thing that you have found to be the most impactful in helping people to heal and to, live more authentically to themselves?
Wow.
I know, that's a big like mic drop.
We might have to edit this part.
No, it's a big question, but I'm always curious because there's so many tools that we can use. There's so many things.
Yeah, probably it's just pay more attention to what your body is telling you. Like I do the body talk system, and that body talk, yes, our body does talk. So it's kind of, makes sense. But I would say to pay more attention to yourself, learn a little bit about yourself. I do a lot of Qigong. You do your yoga,
Yeah.
I do Qigong, and it gives you that, you get more in touch with yourself, your balance gets better, your whole energy inside gets better. We have Pontigettis here, which are these big dance festivals that last all night. I dance with the 20-year-olds, and I don't feel tired because I've just put a lot of attention on being aware of what natural things I can do. Natural herbs. The earth, the planet, gives us all of the medicines that we possibly need. And here in Ikaria, when you come back, which I hope you come back, we'll have to go on hikes because it's like a pharmacy when you walk around here. And most places out in the country are, but we just don't know it. So I would suggest reading up on herbs, all the natural things that the earth has. And that would be my big advice. Learn more about yourself and what is natural to help us.
That's huge. And I've seen that in Ikaria, especially the foraging, I've never seen that before, really using the resources that we have on the land and using that as our medicine, especially the herbs like you mentioned. Is there, getting back in touch with ourselves, learning about ourselves, is there a tool that you could recommend that people could use at home, something that they could do maybe daily or whenever, needed, that will help them to actually get in touch with themselves and feel what's happening in their body?
Yeah, you ask really good questions.
Thank you.
You should have your own show.
Well, hello.
I would say one thing, this is a gift for everybody who is watching this. You can do cortices, which is the plural for cortex. We all have heard of the cortex, that newer part of the brain. And the cortices, so that's plural, that's all of the whole newer part of the brain. And you can simply be holding each part of the brain and doing this nice soft tap. So you're saying, okay, let's register this, let's look at this. Let's save this link that we're doing. Let's save this link. And I'm tapping my belly button, if you can see that. And we just do the placement all the way up over the head. Okay. And that will focus your brain. And so we teach a lot of school children this technique. We teach nurses in hospitals. We've taught a lot of firemen, the 911 people that go out for first responders, they're called. And so it'll bring people out of shock. So you can use it in an emergency situation. Oh, wow. Students can use it before they study. Because it focuses the brain. So you want to be able to use it before you go to sleep at night, when you wake up in the morning, to get ready for your day. It can be used all over. And you can go to bodytalksystem.com, click on the menu, it'll say videos. And then Dr. Veltheim, who's the founder of Body Talk, has a 12-minute, you have to save 12 minutes to look at this, and he'll explain why the cortices is so important and how easy it is to do, and he shows how to do it. Okay? That's
Very
a
interesting.
Great gift.
Do you use affirmations when you do that? When you do the tapping, do you say anything, or is just the
tapping.
Just the tapping. So
Of course, you
interesting.
can make up your own.
Right.
You know, I have a personal one where I just say I have a million thank yous for all that you do. Innate wisdom, thank you so much.
Robyn did that on me yesterday, I remember, and it was that affirmation, like, thank you, body, for what you do. Sometimes we forget that because we live in our body, but we're so busy in the world, and our body does so much for us. I only realized it when, I broke my knee, and then I realized, it's kind of that setback that you remember how much your body really does for you. But our body is, like Robyn mentioned, it has so much wisdom, it has so much power, and it can do so much for us. So when we have that gratitude back for it, like, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Well, we're 70% water. You can find this statistic anywhere, 70 to 80%, some people say. And there was a scientist in Japan, Mr. Emoto, and it's very clear with his experiments. If you just speak the positive words, love, harmony, togetherness, marriage, whatever the positive words are, it changed his experimental waters that he had. And there's whole books that he put out, The Messages from Water by Emoto. And if you just think of that for a second, since we're water, if we're saying these wonderful things to ourselves, to the water in ourselves, it makes a difference. And you can see that. Go to that book. I'm going to send you a link later on today of something that has Emoto's work.
Definitely. I'm very interested. Actually, Robyn, yesterday, I noticed that she served me water, and underneath the water, she had a piece of paper. This is this is a wellness tip I'm taking with me from here. She had a piece of paper there laminated with all these beautiful words of affirmation, and she placed the water pitcher on top of it. So the water was taking in those words, because even in that study, they had the words on the vials, right? And that made the difference. So it's that energy that, then we drink that water. So
and
just a little tip.
People have seen the difference. They've tasted the difference, because when I first started doing that, I had a little test, and I give people 2 glasses of water, one on the words and one not, and they'd say, "Oh, this is sweeter." It actually had a sweeter taste for everybody basically that I've done it with.
Wow. So stop drinking the sodas, stop drinking the sugary drinks, and start drinking affirmation water. That's all we need. Thank you so much, Robyn. I mean, I could sit here for hours and talk to you, but we're going to cut it there. I just want to say I really appreciate you and your time and your energy and your wisdom that you've shared with me and all of us, because it makes a difference. You've brought your light into my life, and it has made a difference. So thank you. Thank you. And if you're in Ikaria, if you're coming in May for the retreat, or whenever you come here, I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend to come see Robyn for a session. I will leave her details down below so you can check her out and come see her, because you're going to feel as good as I do, and
Polioreo, as they say. Very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Polikala.
How do you say it?
Very good. Polioreo.
Polioreo.
Very beautiful. You'll feel very beautiful.
You'll feel very beautiful. Bye, everyone. Till next time.